everyone, and welcome to another episode of Curious Currents, the marine biology podcast where two curious minds learn about the wonders and the weirdos of the ocean together. My name's Emily, marine biology graduate with a passion for storytelling.
My name is Shiv. Emily kidnapped me.
We're moving on to a new topic this week. If this is your first time joining us, then welcome.
Welcome.
I think that this series is going to be particularly exciting. I know, Shiv, you're desperate to get stuck into this one.
This is, to be honest, I'm worried that I may lose interest in this entire thing after we've done this one.
Oh shit, should have done this later on.
Should have held off for a little while. These guys
I'm going to keep you kidnapped here till after the sharks at least, and then
I'll
lose interest as well.
You got me. You'll get me with the sharks.
For the next few weeks, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the world of cephalopods.
Cephalopods?
The octopuses, the squids, and the cuttlefish.
Oh, what? Cuttlefish?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a little surprise thrown in there for me. I thought it was just octopus and squids.
Nope. We'll be finding the answers to the most important questions, like, why do they look so freaky? Where are their organs? Can they be summoned from the depths by Davy Jones to attack enemy battleships? Well, we'll find out together in this cracking series.
Oh, wow.
So, aliens. Are they among us? Discuss.
Ooh. Technically, I'm an alien.
Why?
Because I'm not from here.
I guess.
That's what they, that's why technically what was in the constitutions or whatever is that an Irish citizen couldn't be treated as an alien. That's what the word meant originally. It didn't mean alien as in outer space. It just meant not from here. It meant tourist.
Oh.
That's why they're called, like, that's, you see all over the, like, the American, like, media or whatever. It's like, oh, they're illegal aliens here. They're like,
they were just being rude.
That's, to be fair. But no, it was a original. Yeah.
So we should say extraterrestrial.
No, extraterrestrial.
When referring to, like, space aliens.
Yeah. That's why they're called. That's why it's called. That's why they put that word in front of it. Extraterrestrial aliens.
Well, today I've been educated. I was more thinking about freaky things with tentacles that we see all over film and TV, and told that these are
they're the Alien versus Predator movies.
Yeah. Octopuses do look very not human. They have no bones. They have arms coming out of their head. Their beak is the only hard structure in their entire bodies.
Like, finding out that they had a beak, I don't think at some point it will never not pop into my head and go, they just got a beak under there, and just like the image of it like opening and closing, and yeah, I don't think that'll ever really truly leave my brain.
They have 3 hearts, they have blue blood, their organs are all in their heads. The name cephalopod literally means head foot, because it looks like a head with the feet attached to it, I guess.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I get it.
I feel like that description sounds like it's pretty alien, and a lot of people say that octopuses aren't from this world, or they evolved differently.
That's a conspiracy?
Yeah, because they just look different. But did they actually come from space? Ooh. That's what I want to unpack first. So we're going to start by going all the way back to the beginning of evolution.
All the way back.
All the way back to the dawn of time. There is obviously the theory that we all evolved from something. Like, this one organism decided, I'm no longer going to be a single cell organism. I'm going to multiply, start life.
And bosh.
And everything came from the one thing. This is known as the last.
Could you imagine if that was just one, like, cell just so sick of their flatmate that they were like, nah, I'm fucking out of here, man.
Done with your nonsense. Yeah. So this is called the last universal common ancestor, or LUCA. Is what we call him. And that means that everything kind of shares some DNA because we're all, in theory,
That's like
related.
bananas share a crazy amount of DNA with people, don't
Yes.
they? Yeah.
Yeah. Octopuses have hundreds of genes that are completely unique to them.
Oh, okay.
And this is where the otherworldly extraterrestrial theory comes in. Because it's like, well, how do you have these tons of genes that are related to nothing else if we're all supposed to be related?
Yeah.
And this whole process of organisms developing is known as epigenesis. So there's a theory that epigenesis could have happened twice. So like life could have started twice. There could be two last universal common ancestors. Are you with me? For two different evolutions of life.
Yeah. So do you do they think that they all like they ended up all getting freaky together? Like there was an Adam and an Eve, like in sakes of like for sakes of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Say we named the cells Adam and Eve of were your two like chains. Do people think that one of them were they both started and one of them just ended up being more successful? If you argue that we're more successful, or and the other one's like kind of stopped, or did they at some point mush together?
I think it's just different. Not that one of them was better or worse, and one of them went off to become octopuses. One of them went off to
okay. So it's just more like a could it still be like a pyramid thing though? Whereas like there is still like the Luca,
but instead of accumulating in humans,
it went like different.
Yeah, and it's just a different form of intelligence. It's a different way of living than what we're used to.
Okay.
And it kind of... There was this thing called the Cambrian explosion.
Okay.
Which was a period in evolutionary history when all of a sudden there was a bunch of life. Things diversified.
Oh.
This also added to the cephalopods being alien because people were then thinking, okay, well then how did all this life suddenly diversify? How did we get all this...
They think something came and
weird
kick-started shit.
Exactly. They think that maybe a comet came to Earth or like space dust, because these things come to Earth all the time, like space dust, comets, bits of rock. So they think that happened, and then viruses that were from space then were added to the Earth, and their virus DNA mixed with animal life DNA, which then caused this massive
And does it have to be from like... Does it have to have been from a comet, or do they think that's just like the most likely because everything would have been about the same down here? Or would it have been like just like something from the top finally reached the bottom? Like, if you think about viruses at the moment...
Oh, like a land one went into the
or
sea?
like even just like if you think about like people viruses, like the stuff that we have, if we went to a remote village somewhere, fucking could kill them, but like the shit that they have could easily kill us, but we're both fine separately. Could it have been something like that where there's just like those two things kind of just...
Well, because wouldn't have been found.
Oh, there was nothing to,
else.
there was nothing
no,
else
like, shared
to like
genes.
carry them, not even like...
It's just a theory. It's a
Sorry, I'm asking you a lot. I'm like, so
It's
did they
not
come
a
on the wind?
It's not a proven, fully fledged, this is what happened. It's just one theory, and it's called panspermia theory, where different DNA arrived on a comet from some other planet and then mingled with the DNA on our planet.
That is interesting.
Because there have been like organic molecules been detected on meteorites, and microbes can survive extreme conditions, so that's how they think it could have survived and came onto the planet. And then there's horizontal gene transfer that happens with viruses, so they can actually swap genes with each other, because viruses like inject their DNA into ours so that it changes our DNA, and then that's how they reproduce. So that's how they think it got from there. And this was one paper published in 2018 that discussed all of this and went into the theory. And then obviously you see octopuses are aliens, the media is going to run with that.
Yeah. That's very true.
They're going to run with that, and they made it a big thing. And then there was this whole where everyone started believing the octopuses were aliens. That's where it came from, was this article.
So it was one dude being like, hey man, I wonder if it came to us from outer space.
And I wanted to address all of that because I know that some people listening might have heard this theory and might be thinking, yeah, they're octopuses or aliens. Well, I'm about to debunk all of it because They're not aliens. They're from Earth just like us. They evolved just like us. Although they do have some unique DNA, they share a bunch of it with mollusks.
Oh, okay. So they're not like the only ones on the planet who they just don't share it with us.
Yeah. They
Okay.
share
They just have
DNA.
a lot of stuff that they don't share with us.
They just have some unique genes.
Okay.
And they have, because they're from the mollusk lineage that we talked about in our last series,
Yeah.
where mollusks are animals that have shells or did have a shell at some point in their life. They're soft-bodied. They have that muscular foot, which in octopuses has evolved into the suckers on their arms.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So also, to debunk the Cambrian explosion thing of where did all this come from, these new animals, probably the rising oxygen levels that were around that time, they caused animals to be larger, which increased predation, which caused rapid evolution in response to predation.
Yeah.
That's all that is. They're not aliens. They can be traced back to our same Luca that we came from.
Yeah.
They're just built different, man.
They just built different.
Yeah. So if they're not aliens, what are they? They're cephalopods, which are exclusively marine creatures. They have a prominent head, and then, like I said, they have arms derived from the molluscan foot. There are two...
Don't like that word.
The molluscan. There are two groups.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the... Jeez, I should have looked up how to pronounce this.
Let me try. The Chiolidea and the Natuloidea.
The second one I know is the Nautiloidea.
Nautiloidea.
Colioidea. Fact check me if I'm wrong. Or Nautiloidea. The first group contains the squids, the octopus, the cuttlefish. They have no shells. The nautiluses, it just has the nautiluses in it, and they do have a shell.
What's a nautilus?
It kind of looks like if you stuffed an octopus into a snail shell.
Oh, what?
Like it's a coiled up
A nautilus.
spiral shell, and it has arms coming out of the bottom of it. They look pretty primitive and pretty weird.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah. The nautiluses are a primitive form of the cephalopods, and they evolved before the dinosaurs in the Ordovician period. And then the ones that we know today kind of branched off from there.
That is an alien looking fucker.
There's around 800 species of cephalopods.
Okay.
They range from about 10 millimeters, which is the Thai pygmy squid,
Oh.
to 13 meters, which is the colossal squid, which can also weigh up to 700 kilograms.
Ooh, that's
big. The colossal squid.
And where on our scale does the blue ringed octopus?
So the blue ringed octopus is about 12 to 20 centimeters. So
that's quite big in terms of the other, like the pygmy squid.
The
10
pygmy squid, yes.
Yeah.
In terms of the colossal,
not so
no.
big. Fair enough.
Apparently the giant squid though is longer than the colossal squid, but the colossal squid weighs more. They're found globally in everywhere and in extreme depths as well. The Dumbo octopus is found about 7,000 meters.
Why is it called Dumbo?
Because of its ears.
Because of its ears.
Okay, not its ears, but like little bits that look like ears. It's adorable.
Oh my god, that is so cute.
They're so cute.
What the fuck?
They're only found super deep though.
They're super deep?
Yeah, 7,000 meters. So the Dumbo octopus, they look like ears, they're its fins, but because they look like big ears,
so goddamn cute.
they call it Dumbo.
What size is the Dumbo octopus?
20 to 30 centimeters. So it's a bit bigger than the blue ringed one.
So you're saying that there's lots of different like gene stuff that we don't have with them. Mm-hmm. What does that like then produce? What is their like their weird biology?
So their weird biology, things like the blue blood, can be explained because they use a copper-based protein to transport.
Oh.
So we use an iron-based one,
yeah,
hemoglobin, but they use something called hemocyanin, which is more efficient in cold, deep waters.
Oh, that's quite
hemoglobin.
cool.
So it turns their blood blue.
How blue is blue?
Pretty blue.
Pretty blue?
Like this. Maybe darker than that, maybe?
That's a blue M&M bag.
Oh, yeah, okay, you can't see what I'm pointing at.
A blue M&M bag that
Um,
are tasty.
Like, I'd say it's kind of a navy-ish blue. It's pretty
Okay,
dark.
would you say like the dark blue in the logo?
Yeah. The
That's
dark
cool.
blue in our logo, I would say,
There we go.
is what it kind of looks like. They also, their 3 hearts is because the hemocyanin is better at binding to oxygen
Yeah.
in like low oxygen conditions or in cold conditions, but it can carry less.
Oh, so it needs to get pumped
So it
around
needs,
faster?
yeah, so they have 3 hearts to like pump it around faster. Yeah, 1 heart is responsible for circulating oxygenated blood around the body, and then 2 pump deoxygenated blood through the gills to pick up more oxygen.
Oh.
So that's how it works.
That's quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't have... Do they have anything hard in their body?
Just the beak.
Okay.
So that's why they can fit through any gap that's the same size or bigger than their beak.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
How big... Do you know how big their beaks are?
So it can be roughly the size of a fingernail, an eyeball, or your palm, depending on the species. Your palm?
Your palm?
I don't like that.
I don't like that either, but it's also like... I don't know which I prefer, the fingernail or the palm, though.
Mm. A 50-pound giant Pacific octopus can fit through a hole only 2 inches across.
That's a small palm.
Well, he might have a beak the size of an eyeball.
Oh yeah, I forgot that one.
Yeah. So, not good pets, I would say.
People have a lot of them as pets, though.
Do they?
Octopuses. Squids, yeah.
That's wild.
Oh yeah, big time. And they have to guard for like,
'cause
because
they
they
not-
escape.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
escape and then they go into other tanks and steal fish out of other tanks to eat them.
Yeah.
Love them.
They're
Love them.
and you have to like enrich them with puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have to do something, otherwise they die really quickly. But it's like you put in like their food alive in a jar and they get it out of the jar.
You crazy girl.
You're crazy.
Yeah, apparently their like cranium, their head is only protected by a malleable cartilage. They don't even have like a skull, a solid skull. And
That's
they're
crazy. So, can they get brain damage?
I've never thought of that. Maybe.
But like, so if they don't have anything to protect their skull and they get a bash, or is their brain kind of malleable as well? Is it kind of like a sponge where it'll just bounce back?
Well, I guess maybe they when they used to have a shell, like the Nautilus had the shell,
Yeah.
because they got rid of that protection. That's a theory why they might be so intelligent, to avoid predators and to avoid getting hurt and things like that. They're super smart and they can use their arms to
Okay.
make defenses around themselves to stop things like that.
Okay. So you think no?
Well, I think they could, but they probably aren't that clumsy.
Well, no, I know, but like for example, you can be not clumsy, but then you can still get hit with a baseball bat.
A mantis shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently their beak is bigger than the brain, so that prevents the squishing, because they can't go through a hole that's too small that would squish their brain.
Okay, yes, that was one of
Yeah.
the things that I was wondering about.
Yeah. So their brain doesn't get smushed because they're not going through a hole that small, because the beak is bigger.
Okay,
I've got
so
them.
that's not that big.
Yeah, but
Their brain power compared to their brain weight seems pretty
pretty
substantial.
small. Yeah, but they have, because their brains kind of work differently, and they have a bunch of neurons in their arms as well.
Oh.
And their brains are more of a donut shape. We'll get more into their intelligence and how they think and their brains and
Okay,
stuff
that'll
in
be for a
another
later
episode.
date.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll keep my questions ready.
But talking about kind of their heads,
Yeah.
common misconception that big bit at the back is like their head. It's called a mantle, so it contains all of their internal organs. But the
Oh.
head is only like the kind of the head, the bit where the brain is
Yeah.
is just the little gap between the kind of face and the mantle.
Oh.
So it's only a little bit where their actual head is.
And that's why it's donut shaped, is because it's just down there.
Yeah.
And like
and like a
everything's
little
in
ring.
between. Oh.
And then in the mantle, that's where everything else is. So that's where the gills are, that's where the intestines are, that's where the stomach is.
And well, I suppose everything's going to be either squishy or smaller than the beak.
Yeah.
Okay. And it can be the size of a palm. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either, actually, the more I think about it.
They think that they developed this intelligence, because obviously there's intelligence as we think of it, thinking from a mammal point of view.
Yeah.
But they have a different one, so it's another example of convergent evolution of two lineages
Separating out.
separating and developing different types of intelligence. Intelligence can, well, a theory for how intelligence can evolve is for two different mechanisms. One from an ecological perspective, where there's predation pressure and there's a need to find food, and social pressures. So from a human point of view, it would be social pressures and then the need to find food in combination that allowed us to evolve intelligence. Whereas with the octopuses, it's more of an ecological need because they're not social beings at all.
Okay.
So it was the loss of the shell and then having to come up with other ways to not be eaten because you're a soft-bodied animal.
Yeah.
So then that encouraged the rapid development of intelligence for them, because being smart means you can hide, it means you can problem solve, it means you can change your camouflage rapidly.
Yeah.
But it
Be
is
more conscious about things around you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is costly, so being intelligent comes with ecological costs, because you always think about in biology the pros and cons of having something. You can't have a really cool adaptation without it costing like energy or costing in something else. So the octopus kind of pays for its intelligence with its lifespan. They only live for very short lives, and a lot of their energy is dedicated to brain repair and brain function. Whereas humans pay for the intelligence by having really long developmental periods, so like juvenile periods are so long because
especially compared to other animals.
But that means that we have to spend so much time on parental care. See that with like other mammals as well. So like dolphins, they spend a lot of time on parental care. They only give birth to one, maybe two at a time.
Yeah, and then it like
and there's an extended juvenile period to like develop your intelligence, so you get longer to learn, but
it takes longer and it takes more food and more
and you're higher risk
economics, I guess,
when you're a baby. So if you're thinking about a whale, if you have a calf and you're the mother, you're going to have to spend a lot of your energy protecting it from other things. I know with humans it's different because we've
no got
predators.
We can pay other people to look after our children now.
But so that's how do you think intelligence evolved through octopuses.
So, as we were saying there, their brains are pretty small and their bodies is pretty big. That must be a intense ratio, is what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, but it is the highest of the invertebrates.
Oh. What is an invertebrate again?
Anything that doesn't have a vertebrae. So if
so like anything that not like
have
snake
like an internal
or
skeleton.
The spine.
Yeah, if it doesn't have an internal skeleton, it's an invertebrate.
Okay.
So they're talking about like the DNA thing where they don't have shared DNA and people thought, oh, where are all these random genes coming from?
Yeah.
They can edit their RNA.
Wait, what's RNA?
So if DNA is the blueprint for everything in your body, RNA goes into your DNA, copies a chunk of it.
Okay, yeah.
Takes it somewhere else where it can be processed into proteins and amino acids and things that...
So it kind of like reads it?
Yeah. It copies it. Something else reads it, but it's the copier, it's the messenger. So it's coming in.
So it's what brings the message of the DNA into your body to do the function.
Yes. So it goes in, it goes, okay, we need a protein to do something. There's the script for it, there's the code, so I'm going to take that to the person that knows how to make it.
Oh, okay. I see. Like the little, like a messenger bringing a baker a recipe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So animals can edit their RNA, but it happens very rarely because it's harmful. It's like a harmful mutation sort of thing that arises. So we don't really do it. But changes in your RNA don't necessarily mean changes to your DNA. Changes to the DNA is what leads to evolution.
Okay.
But if something happens to the RNA on its way to the chef, let's say.
Yeah.
then that's going to be damaging, and it's going to create a damaging protein, which will just be harmful
Okay.
for us. But it doesn't lead to exact evolution. But cephalopods can edit their RNA like all the time, and they do it
Oh.
all the time.
For what?
So, for example, some cold water species edit their amino acids to make proteins function better in the cold.
What? They just get a software update to
Yeah,
update their hardware,
That is exactly
and they do
what
it
it's like.
themselves.
Yeah, they're just like, this isn't functioning very well, let's just make it better right now.
Oh my god.
Squids can edit more than 60% of their RNA to their own benefit.
Oh my god.
It's wild.
That's like, I don't even know what that's like. That's like getting nanotechnology in your brain being able to fix your cells.
Yeah, I was watching a video and someone described it as if the DNA is the recipe,
Yeah.
then RNA is the chef taking creative liberties with the recipe.
Adding a little extra salt.
Yeah, adding a little
cheese.
bit of spice.
Oh.
Something in there to make them function better.
I wonder, you know what that kind of reminds me of? It's like, for example, carbonara, like the Italian way of doing carbonara, and then like an English chef's carbonara is like, it's creamy and saucy and good, and like works really well in England, but the original recipe in Italy is just like looking at it with aghast and horror.
Yeah. So they're able to change the function of their proteins quicker than like natural adaptations would.
Do you know if it sticks around?
So because it's not, they also think that these animals might then evolve slower overall because RNA doesn't change your DNA.
Yeah.
So they're doing it individually, but then those changes in RNA won't be passed down.
Yeah, so they don't get passed down. That's interesting. So they're like, oh, this is a good adaptation. We can steal this adaptation. But Junior's going to have to figure that out himself.
Yeah. A lot of these like edits go towards their brain functionality as well. So that's also why we think they might be so intelligent.
So they just keep like, if you watch The Good Place, you know the way Janice gets brighter and like she gets smarter and smarter every time they reboot her because she gets a software update. So that's what they're doing to themselves.
Software
They're just
updates.
like a little reboot, and they get smarter, and another reboot, and then another reboot, and then they have intelligence. But because they don't have a lot of culture, they don't pass it on.
I think they're not passing on because it's not actually hardwired. On
Yeah.
the hard drive
Okay. Yeah.
Because they are super solitary. They like don't hang out with each other. But it doesn't mean to say they're not sociable though, because a lot of times they've been documented and videoed playing and interacting with other animals, just not each other. They just don't like their
So
own
they're
species.
hermits like people.
They
Oh my god, they're like marine biologists.
They prefer other animals over their own kind.
They prefer fishies over their own kind. They're marine biologists.
Maybe they're like, if it's a female octopus, she's like, oh, this guy's just gonna bother me, and if it's a guy, he's like, she's just gonna eat me. Like, what is the point?
I mean, fair enough. If I was gonna get eaten, I'd also be hesitant.
Yeah.
And if I had to go through the effort of having to run away every time, and then in terms of if I was hungry and there was a snack there, I might as well just eat.
Yeah.
And do both types do this RNA editing? Or is it just one?
No, it's just the one that has the octopuses, squids, and cuttlefish. The nautiluses don't do this. They have much simpler brains.
Okay.
They're much more primitive.
Okay.
So the nautiluses survived being so primitive and not developing this intelligence just because of their deep water habitat. So they're found super deep, and they have a low metabolism. They have a flexible diet, so they can eat a lot of stuff. So it meant they survived a lot of extinctions. There's an extinct animal that was part of this lineage called ammonites. You can find them. I actually have one. I can show you
That's
the
with
fossil.
the
spirals,
stone.
yeah.
Oh, I love finding those.
They were part of this lineage, and the nautilus outlived them. Like, they died in one of the big extinctions, and the nautilus outlived them. Apparently it's just because they're so reclusive, they just live in the deep.
Because they were
touch 'em.
better at not doing it. Say for the RNA, right?
Yeah.
Is that something that they would look into then for like cancer treatments? Do you think, are they studying RNA for like
Yeah, I think it's a pretty new thing they're looking into, where they're looking into modifications in RNA for tumor suppressing because it's safer than DNA, because the DNA editing, it's called CRISPR, the process they use to edit DNA, is pretty non-reversible. Once you edit someone's DNA, that's it. So if you make a mistake, it's pretty risky. But if RNA's being looked into, that's reversible and it's not passed on. So I think it is something they're looking into.
That is interesting.
Yeah, they're highly resistant to cancer because they possess the ability to edit their RNA on the fly, which might protect them.
That's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool.
I also found something that says compounds in octopus venom and ink are being studied to treat human cancer.
Oh.
But I'm not a cancer expert. I don't want to start spewing things. Incorrect.
Like our Ozempic.
Ozempic sea slugs. You were very fascinated by jet propulsion when we talked about frogfish.
Yeah.
That's also how octopuses move around.
I thought they just kind of like... I thought they move themselves with the legs.
They do, but they also... water enters their mantle cavity, like kind of on the outside of their gills.
Yeah.
And then they contract the water cavity, which forces water out through the gills. So it goes like...
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And they can scoot along.
Bop, bop, bopping along. That's cool. I thought it was just their legs that they moved kind of like in the right way, I guess. And then like, you know, like when you're swimming and you do the frog legs, the frog kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that's what they did.
I guess they can, but no, they use jet propulsion.
Okay.
There are some that are more active in the water column, so they do swim about like that more often. And some of them are more benthic, they just chill. Or they just lie in wait.
Ambush.
Yeah, they're just going to lie in wait. And there's a difference between gill size. So if you're moving through the water, the gills tend to be smaller because they're always getting water pumped over them.
Yeah, getting through.
Whereas the ones that just sit on the bottom have larger gills because they need more surface area to take up more water because they're not moving as much.
Okay.
So make sure they're getting like constant water pumping over their gills. They have to actively like suck it in and pump it over the gills.
Okay.
They do that through the mantle as well. So they draw water in through the mantle and then force it through a siphon on the side of their head. So it's like a little tube. And then that pushes it over the gills. So they're constantly getting oxygenated water flowing over them, even if they're sitting still.
Okay. Oh, even they're just sitting chilling and they still have like the hose squirting.
Yeah, they've got it constantly going, which is why some people say that sharks can't stop swimming because they can't actively pump water over the gills. Some can. Yeah, that's where that whole thing of sharks have to keep constantly moving comes from.
True?
Not all of them. Some of them, yes, they have to keep moving because they don't have a pump to throw water over their gills.
Yeah.
But for some of them, they do have that active ability. So there are some benthic sharks that live on the seafloor that don't move, so they have to have a pump.
Have to be able to like have the hose on.
Yeah, have the hose on, so to speak. So in conclusion, octopuses are oddities, but they're our oddities. They didn't come from space. They evolved here on Earth, just like us, just in a slightly different way. They have intelligence, kind of like us, but different.
So why are they always able to pick the winners out of a soccer match?
Clairvoyancy.
Yeah, there was like an octopus that was able to like for some World Cup a few years ago. That was able to just pick all the winners.
It was for sure just going off a random colour.
Oh, for sure random colour. But like it kept winning, and then I remember when it didn't win, and the first thing everybody said in my school was, "Well, it's sushi now."
No. What was your favourite fact from today's episode about octopuses?
The fact that they can change the RNA. Also, the fact RNA exists.
Yeah, me too. That's wild that they can do that. I had no clue about that. The other biology stuff I kind of knew, but I learned that, researching this episode.
Yeah. That is quite cool. Like, the if humans had that ability, it'd be mental. Like what things in humans
I
would
dread
change.
to think if humans could have that. Well, I guess
No,
if
but
you
like-
could just cure like diseases.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
what else would change? Like what would be? What would your brain then like rewrite itself to be? What would like?
I imagine it's not like a conscious process that they
Yeah,
do. But imagine if it
yeah.
was. Like, imagine you could consciously
Yeah.
be like, do you know what? I'm just gonna change the color of my hair.
Yeah, but like, but that's what I also mean. Of like, because if it's not a conscious thing, your brain's like, well, this is just better. Like sometimes I feel like it would be better to be dumber. Do you think your brain could make you dumber like that? Like consciously, like do you know what you see people go around in life, and they're just, you're like, oh, it must be nice. It must be nice to be that oblivious. Or you see somebody who's like walking around and you're like, oh, there's so much work to be done. And they're just la da 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 da. Like, do you think your brain would make you more like that or less like that?
I feel like less like that.
I don't know. It seems like a pretty nice life.
That Delulu life.
The Delulu.
The delusion.
No, do you not think like it'd be nice to have the Delulu?
No.
No?
I would probably. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like skinny. I wouldn't even go anywhere near intelligence. I would just like make me skinny. So our favorite fact was the RNA. Let us know what your favorite fact was in the comments.
Also, would you want the Delulu?
What would you do if you could edit your RNA?
That would be.
What would
I think
make
I would want
yourself? Super
Delulu.
smart or delusional.
Yeah, like the world would be perfect for you. Everyone around you would hate it.
But you'd be oblivious.
Like you'd be oblivious and living your best life.
Yeah,
you wouldn't even need that much to be living your best life because you'd be delusional.
But yeah, let us know.
Yeah,
And
let us know.
if you haven't got your fill of octopuses, don't worry, because we are coming back with them again next week. We will talk about their camouflage and how they make themselves look so colourful. But in the meantime, thank you for listening and stay curious.
Bye.
Bye.